Hi, Chief.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I don't know if I can explain it much better than you just did.
Thank you. We had the discussion in public safety, and it seemed to make a little bit of sense to do it now rather than wait and put it into the budget.
On the availability side, it does help us. There is some vehicles that we've got our name on. Otherwise, ordering a car is kind of a chance if you're going to get it or not. So there is one sitting in Des Moines that we could get now that would be helpful.
So you're up in your inventory by one vehicle, correct?
No, the
Oh, I
2000.
thought you're converting one back over.
Yeah, the 2018 will be traded or sold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just
I misunderstood that.
our normal one car a year replacement.
Okay.
Any other questions? Then I would ask for a motion.
Motion approving the purchase of a 2024 Ford Explorer fully equipped police vehicle and converting an existing vehicle to a K-9 vehicle using American Rescue Plan Act funds at an estimated total cost of $63,600.
You have a second?
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those
Thank you.
opposed the same. Motion carried. Thank you, Chief. Moving on to discussion items. Jason has absolutely nothing
I have
for us.
absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I guess like Clark's thumbs up, I'll give a thumbs up to Pease for being open Saturday when everything else is closing.
You were one of those out running around then.
Yeah.
Good. Anything?
I don't have anything today.
All of the budget stuff coming together?
Yep, coming together. I got through all of the committee budget meetings, so on to next steps. So all that information packaged together and sent back out to everybody.
Very good. Thank you. Mark?
Nothing.
Clark?
Where does it go from here, Joe? I mean, I know I got the schedule right here. but where
We're
do
gonna have one more meeting with the admin
with us?
committee.
Okay.
And then on February 20th, it'll come to full council for a budget
Workshop.
workshop.
Okay, that's February 20th.
Yep.
When is our admin meeting? Have we decided that
Not
date?
set yet.
Okay, I didn't think I had, okay, good enough. All right, tomorrow. Yeah,
After this one.
later today. That'd be fine.
Brian, anything?
No.
Brad?
Nothing for me.
Nothing from me either. Then we shall move on to our reports. And since the brightly colored group of water department people are all here, let's let them proceed first.
Come on up.
I'll chartreuse shatter out.
Before I start my report, I just want to give a reminder out to citizens to clean out around the fire hydrants. Help the fire department us out. We had a fire, there's a lot more work to clean the fire, just so with the fire hydrant than just go up to it. So please clean the fire hydrants, around the fire hydrants if they will.
Thank you, Rich.
So, okay, Rich Sattel, Water Superintendent. This report is about the water department. This is your water department. I wanted to come up and introduce them, so that you guys, and also, make them a little bit uncomfortable. So, but I'll start out, Scott Tillman, raise your hands, there you go, 7 years. Monty Brent, 7 years. Justin Frericks, 6 years. Clay Lucian, 1. Kate Calhoun, started in August. Calvin Chainrack, started a month ago.
Oh,
So this
man.
is your water department. And speaking of the February 20th meeting, the budget meeting, Scott is going to be here on the water department's behalf because I will be putting a class on in Des Moines for rural water. So making it more uncomfortable. And our total years together here right now is 39 years between then I got Angie Knight, 15 years for utilities. She didn't want to be here, so. But not counting Angie, we have 39 years of experience. I wanted to say Jim Conley is the guy who basically, when the city took over the water department, started it. He took it and ran. He has 40 years with the city. He's retiring this month, and I just wanted to give him a little shout out saying how much I appreciate, and the city should also, the knowledge he has for taking over the water department and not having no experience with running a water department. He put in water line and that kind of stuff, but he did a tremendous job of setting the water department up with us, and also teaching us what we know now. So I just wanted to say thank you to him because he's done a tremendous job and he's retiring shortly, so.
I was the court reporter for the condemnation hearings, so I remember way back when the city took it over, so it was a good
Look.
one on our part.
A little while ago. Yeah.
From IPS.
When we took it
No,
over from the private.
it went from a private person for a couple of years, or 1 or 2 years, and then the city.
Okay, that's right.
Three-judge panel.
Yeah. So I'll just give you a little bit of information. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. We went through 278,000 gallons last year. We used 46 million of them gallons to do backwash, so that's at 3.7% of that total usage. We averaged 3.2 million gallons a day. That is up 66, it's up 100,000 gallons a day. We produced 66 million gallons more than the previous year. So, another number to pay attention to is our percent of unaccountable water. Last year was 9.5, this year it is 5%. That is because of 2 reasons. We had a leak in our head box, we got that fixed. Before, we would hire a contractor to come in and do that. Now we have partnered with John Saylor and we did it ourselves. Also, we have valves in our treatment plant. They're going on 19 years. They're supposed to be maintenance free, but nothing's maintenance free. So we've been rebuilding those, working on them, and we've gotten our water use, our loss down quite a bit on that too. So we're gonna continue to work on it because we ain't got it yet. But we're working on it. So, and that's the reason why the percentages dropped almost in half for our water loss. So. Work accomplished, the chart right below that. I guess the only thing I know are the water tests, they're down about 500. That's because we did the RO plant, so we did a lot more testing then. That was also the work orders and that, so the numbers are down from the previous year because we had more testing with that RO. And I don't know why, but new valves added. I didn't put anything in there for 2022. We did 2 easy valves last year, we did 11 this year, for the town. So projects and work completed in 2023. We used to hire or send out our chlorinated heads and actuators to be maintenance, fixed, rebuilt. We are now doing that in-house. It seemed to be when we sent them out, 2 months later, we're sending them back out again. I don't think that we have learned to where we know more about how to fix them than the company we sent them to. I credit these guys back here for digging in and learning and getting that fixed. So we're saving money by doing it ourselves, and they're running better. We replaced our 3rd booster pump. It went out, and then we added a 4th one. So the booster pump is in the southeast part of town from Central and 12th southeast. With all the new developments and that, we had to add a 4th one. So the only thing we don't have done with that yet is got all the SCADA bugs worked out on it, but it is there, we can use it. We just gotta get it, the rest of the program for the SCADA. So we can basically control it and tell when we want it to turn on that. Now we gotta go out there and do by hand.
Is that why the Central was opened up a couple weeks ago?
Central was open, no, that was a one leak.
That was a leak?
That was a leak,
Okay.
yeah. Talked to Southern Sioux Rural Water about possibly partnering with us, and when we did the RO, unfortunately, they didn't see the benefit in it. It would have saved both them and us some money, but they chose not to, so gave it a try. We installed pressure test and bacteria test at 620 feet of 8-inch water main at Park Lane Road. That went real well. I think it took us less than a week. So I wasn't here when you guys voted on that. We got the okay to do that out there in the port. Good. So I'm glad. We fixed the leak in the head box like we talked about earlier. That we have to do that on Sunday. The water treatment plant isn't down very often. Saturday nights and Sunday mornings is when usually it's down. We had a 5-hour window that it didn't run this Saturday night. That's the most we usually get is 5-6 hours. So we have a couple valves we're gonna put in the treatment plant, hopefully in the next month, and that's when we'll be doing it, because that's when the treatment plant's down. So, Sanitary survey we did last August. We had one concern, and that was actually something I questioned, asked them about. It's our lead and copper. Since we were over 10,000 people, we have to do 30 tests instead of 20. It was an oversight. I've never been in to see it. So by the end of the week, we had the new process form filled out and sent to them. So that was the only thing we had for a sanitary survey, which is what the DNR, basically it's our DNR report card. Every 3 years they do it. So we scored very well. We pipelined 4 blocks of Plymouth Street West. That was a very challenging project. It started in the winter. We have to go through and look for all the temporary services to make sure that everybody has water while we do this. And then we have to get the water there, which getting water to businesses through old brick buildings is very hard. We accomplished it. We ran into some problems when we did it, but looking back, it's a good thing because it should make that main last a lot longer. The things that we ran into were things that would have caused us problems within the next year or two anyway, so it was a good thing it happened. So we got rid of some old crosses that didn't seal up in that. One of them we took out of the ground. After we took it out, we could see that it was 3/4 already plugged. So we'd have got it back up and running, and we still would have had that restriction in that cross. So it was a good thing. At the time, it sucked. It was not a good couple of weeks. So Automatic Systems came to, they're the ones who do their SCADA system for our treatment plant. And since we're doing the RO, they kind of want to basically put a face with the name. And they came, they toured our treatment plant, and we got talking, and we talked about our raw water meter in the back of the treatment plant hasn't worked for years. I would say it probably worked 2 years since the plant was up and running. And I mentioned it to this guy, and he looked at it, he said, we can fix this. So they came up and they actually did, we're running on that right now. So basically what that does is it controls how much chemical we put into the water. And it was set up as we can do it 2 ways. We can do it off of each well meter, or we can do it off the raw meter. Well, for the last 10 years, we've just been doing it off the well meters. We didn't have that backup. Well, now we got the backup. So that was a really good thing, because I thought, been told by someone else that we couldn't fix it. So it was really good that they came and took that tour. And then on 3rd Avenue, when the railroad did the crossing in that, I had in the back of my head, when they're gonna do that, we were gonna replace that 3rd Avenue intersection, because there was a cross there with a couple valves that didn't work. And then the fire hydrant valve was leaking too every time we touched it. So we took an opportunity when they were doing that detour to replace all that, which went very well. We've installed 36 easy valves for other towns, and then 11 for our town. This was in the last year, from January to January. So from that time frame, we've actually brought in $71,650 in revenue for doing them easy valves for other towns. And we have saved ourselves around $20,000 because we have that tool to do them ourselves. We have to pay someone else to do them. So, and last, we had Matt Walker come out, because some of the old pieces we took out of the ground, I wanted him to show us and tell us about how they were made in that and how they were put together. He spent a couple hours out of there, and I think we learned a lot from him. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I could listen to more of what he had to say, because he put a lot of this stuff in the ground. Now that one he didn't, because it was a 2016 pipe, so he didn't put that fitting in, but he knew all about it. So it was a really good thing to have him come out and just, pick his brain and get some knowledge from him.
I bet it was interesting.
It was real interesting. He's got a lot of stories.
Yes, he does.
Matt Walker trained Jim Conley.
Yes, he did,
I get it.
along with a lot of other people.
You bet, Derek Langle?
Yes. Yep.
Myself.
That's pretty much all I got. Unless you guys have any questions?
I was gonna ask you how many easy, because you covered 11 and 2, but I was curious, but you said 34 in other communities?
36.
And that works out pretty good?
I think it works out good, you guys. Yeah, yep. That actually, okay, we were supposed to put a class on in Sioux City 11th. It got canceled because of weather. But we go down, and the utility equipment company puts on a day class, and brings in 5 different speakers, and they talk about different things, hydrants, valves, and well, we were gonna be one of the speakers about easy valves. That helps 2 things. It draws up more business for us to put valves in our towns, and also gets our name out there. We have a lot of different towns call and ask questions about things that they have in their towns. And it's always kind of nice to be able to help out in other towns and that, so. But that got moved till the 24th. So we'll still get her done.
Very good. Any questions?
Next. Yeah, you okay? Scott, go on. Thank you, guys.
I
Thank
do-
you, Rich.
I do appreciate you guys, and I see you in the whole, like, at the end of Central when that thing was leaking, and it can't be good during the weather conditions like we had, so we do appreciate it.
I always thought your newest employee had to come in and give us a speech.
Maybe you should, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
YMCA. Okay, stop.
My name is Jackie, the CEO with the Y. Officially been here a year now. I hit my year last week, January 11th, so I'm a little bit more confident this year than I was last year at this time. I'll just give you bullet points. There's a lot of info on this sheet I sent you, and then you guys can ask questions at the end if you want me to specify on anything. The little red box on the corner, that's just our core leadership team here. In this past year, we had a slight change. Joyce, who had been with the Y for over 15 years, stepped down and took a job at the hospital and Sioux Center. With her leaving, we didn't replace that position completely. A lot of us kind of absorbed some of the stuff she was doing. And then recently, so just this week, the very bottom position, we recently hired a youth and family coordinator. AJ Schaefer is a recent grad from Northwestern. He just started last week. But we see our biggest growth and demand in numbers and in programming in our youth and family avenue, so we kind of went that avenue with the new hire. So that's kind of the recap on our leadership team. Membership in general, I mean, numbers overall are up higher than they were last year. But what we've given out in scholarship, our financial assistance has gone up also as well. I saw a huge growth in people applying for aid and receiving said aid. So we give anywhere from 25 to 75% off programs and or membership if they qualify. So there's a form they can fill out. So that's one big jump I've seen this year, is just the amount of assistance we've given out is a lot higher than last year. Another few changes in membership. In October of this year, we switched our membership software to like a cloud-based version that I would say 75% of Ys across the country use. So we're now on a platform called Daxco. That is going to help us with a lot more online registration, membership accounts, and also set us up for 24-hour access. Wink, wink, cross fingers. That's something we're working on. I don't have a date as to when, but it's a goal for 2024 to have part of the facility 24-hour accessible. There's just a few projects that need to get done. We have to figure out access to the building for people who are members. How can they get in, and how can we make sure those people are allowed to get in? And then we have a couple blind spots that we need to get more cameras installed that are required for us to have members there after hours. So we have the hardware and we have people signed up to come and do it, or we're just waiting for them to be able to come and install it, and does it work, and when are we ready? So those are the biggest changes for membership. Youth programming, what was new in 2023 is we added an additional site for after school. So we've had it at the Y for a long time, but this year we added a site up at Galen Elementary. So they have 12 kids now enrolled. We have our own license up at the school, but it's our program that we run there in the library after school. So now we have 2 sites, up to 32 kids that we take care of after school. On that same kind of note, we started an early out program this year during the school year. So they almost doubled the amount of early outs that schools had this year. So I met with some of the school staff and figured out what can the Y do. So this year we provided staff to the elementary school gyms. Families could enroll their child for free care on these early out days. So we had over 118 kids register and participate. Or on those early out days, they can just stay at their school, go to the gym, and then the Y provided snacks, crafts, care until 5:30.
For each of the gyms?
All 3 of the public elementary schools. I would say Cluckhone has the most. They had like 64 kids, and then it was like 24 and 30 at the other 2.
Okay.
But it clearly served a need, so we'll plan to do that next year in some form or fashion on the early out days. So that was new. We added another 5K this year, so we've been doing the Santa Fun Run with Christmas in Hometown, but we did one this year with ice cream days. So we'll see if that happens again this year. We brought CPR and AED training back. So in 2022, we didn't have any classes. In 2023, we certified over 100 people in CPR, first aid, and AED. Those are the highlights. We have, we're currently remodeling a room in the Y, so if you go all the way back down the dark hallway where there's Taekwondo and Pilates, I don't know if you've been in that, the room farthest down. We're working now with funds through the state to remodel it, upkeep it a little bit, because we want to add that space to our license. So our facility is licensed with the state. Our after school and our summer camp program have to adhere to child care standards with the state of Iowa. So that means all the spaces we use for programming have to adhere to certain rules. So this room, if done, we can add to the license, which means we can serve 40 more kids in summer camp. So right now our license says we can only have 56 kids at a time in the building. As is, once this room is done, we can add another 40. We don't really have the need for that for after school, but for summer camp, last year we had like 70 kids on the wait list. So this room's getting done now, so hopefully by this summer we'll be able to have 90 kids a week at the Y versus 56. 24-hour I mentioned. We're gonna try and look into some adult sport leagues. A trend we're seeing in our youth sport numbers is going down, and I think that's because a lot of schools are doing it younger and younger with their kids and parents and coaching. So we have some goals around tournaments or non-traditional sports. This year we did youth dodgeball. We just started youth pickleball. So we're trying to do some non-traditional stuff. The pool stuff, I mean, if you have questions, let me know. One of the biggest things when we opened back up in October is we added 5:30 a.m. lap swim, and that seems to be pretty popular. Hopefully we can keep it going. Right now we have 2 lifeguards that are in college and living in the Mars, and those are who are guarding the early morning shifts. So if we don't have those guards, it's kind of hard to offer. But popular, and I think we'll have to try our best to keep it.